Let me explain the true reason for the lack of respect toward you. And believe me, it has nothing to do with lack of strength, intelligence, or success. The problem lies in your predictability. Others read your desperate thirst for approval and panicked fear of conflict, which instantly strips you of position. Weak self-presentation inevitably provokes contempt, because the world is deaf to emotions and indifferent to your good intentions. It listens exclusively to strength. True power is never loud. It doesn't stoop to requests or justifications, remaining silent, calculated, and absolute. Principle number 1. Mental stillness. Ask yourself honestly, how often do you catch yourself doubting mid-conversation, swallowing words from fear they'll be perceived wrongly? It's precisely in such moments of hesitation that your authority dies. True strength is born in mental silence and absolute inner certainty. The moment your mind gains calm, everything changes. Your tone becomes sharper, words gain weight, and others unconsciously begin adjusting to your energy. Most people destroy their own influence by allowing internal doubts to corrode their confidence. Remember the golden rule: never show hesitation. Even if you're confused or lack complete information, act as if your choice is final and not subject to revision. Cut down on words and slow your movements so every action looks like conscious intention, not reaction to external stimuli. Principle number 2. The mask of controlled power. The main commandment here is never let emotions show on your face, no matter how strong they are. It doesn't matter how angry, enthusiastic, or hurt you are. The moment you give free rein to feelings, you voluntarily hand over the remote control of yourself to others. To avoid revealing your vulnerabilities, you must master the art of restraint. Even tone, calm posture, impenetrable facial expression. This doesn't mean insensitivity. Inside, you may be experiencing a storm, but only you decide what part of that storm becomes visible to others. People tend to respect mystery far more than straightforward sincerity. They instinctively submit to calm, perceiving it as a sign of dominance. When others cannot decipher you, they automatically attribute higher intelligence, experience, and even danger to you than actually exists. Principle number 3. Calculated use of fear. Let's clarify immediately. We're not talking about threats, raised voices, or aggressive outbursts. Your goal is simply to make it clear to others that any disrespect toward you will have its price. Most people make the fundamental mistake of taking aggression for true strength. They think instilling fear means being loud, scary, or deliberately cruel. But in reality, this is just informational noise that others eventually stop noticing. Genuine authority is always quiet. It's born from your opponent's firm understanding of a simple truth. Crossing your path means making a fatal mistake that can never be corrected. Never allow yourself stormy reactions or try to outshout the offender. Instead, engage absolute cold and detachment. It's this icy silence that makes people reconsider their behavior. Principle number 4. Emotional invulnerability. Nothing disarms a person quite like excessive involvement in what's happening. When you become too attached to a specific result or allow others' praise and criticism to determine your well-being, you lose clarity of thinking and sharpness of perception. The highest skill is achieving a state where neither loud victories nor offensive defeats can disturb your inner rhythm, making you absolutely independent of external circumstances. Many people remain hostages to their mood swings. A successful day inspires them, while the slightest failure completely throws them off track. This isn't strength, but dependence on circumstances. But as soon as you stop reflexively reacting to stimuli, situation control passes into your hands. When an opponent expects an emotional explosion but encounters a wall of indifference, they lose leverage, as if they came to war with weapons completely useless against you. Principle number 5. Psychological leverage. True influence is never loud and doesn't require direct submission. You gain real power over people when you start using observation as a weapon, noticing what others miss in their rush to speak. Instead of chattering, carefully study what lights up your interlocutor's eyes, what they fear, what they're silent about, and where they feel insecure. This knowledge isn't needed to please, but to correctly position yourself on their mental map. A wise person never reveals their cards without good reason and doesn't discuss strategy before the game ends. In negotiations, while others fussily try to convince everyone, you should ask questions and listen. Every word, pause, and accent of your interlocutor is valuable data. Principle number 6. Iron personal boundaries. Every time you silently swallow disrespect or seek excuses for the offender, your inner strength fades and others read an unambiguous signal. You can be bargained with. However, a strong personality guards their space as jealously as a state protects its territories, without unnecessary negotiations, apologies, or attempts to explain why they deserve basic respect. If someone disturbs your peace, the reaction must be instant and final, but completely devoid of theatrics. You don't need to make pompous speeches about how badly you're hurt or stage demonstrative scenes. You simply remove yourself from the situation, cut contacts, and move on with life. When your boundaries are tested, leave forever, firmly remembering that the first warning is generosity, while the second is already a sign of weakness. Principle number 7. Strategic withdrawal. The strongest move sometimes becomes complete disappearance from the radar. Instead of loud statements and door slamming, you simply withdraw your energy and attention, allowing the person to fully feel the resulting void. Most people's main mistake in response to disrespect is attempting to fight, argue, and prove their value, hoping the opponent will see the light. But it's intrusive presence that kills your significance. The correct response to neglect should be not stormy confrontation, but absolute unavailability. You don't punish with words, you simply deprive the person of the one thing they didn't value while having it in abundance: access to your personality. Strategic detachment works flawlessly. Whoever took you for granted suddenly starts seeking contact, apologizing, and promising to improve. Conclusion: become unshakable. When confidence, silence, discipline, and self-control merge into one, you attain a state that can be called the crown of invulnerability. This is a moment of qualitative transformation when you stop chasing others' approval, justifying yourself, or emotionally reacting to petty provocations. You begin moving with a sense of calm superiority because nothing inside you trembles anymore, and this unshakability instantly elevates you above the fuss of ordinary behavior. People will inevitably feel this change, even if they can't immediately find the right name for it. Remember, you don't need anyone's permission, diploma, or position to command respect. You need only iron discipline and the courage to stand alone on your ground. Most people will never grasp this philosophy, continuing to chase others' opinions and endure disrespect. But you, having delved into this topic, already differ from them in your readiness to do what others lack the spirit for. Remember that the world rewards not fairness but strength. It respects not softness but clear boundaries, and follows confidence, not doubt. I am unshakable.